Because ultimately, with time, many remember the story, but they forget the product. Hi, Amrit here, co-founder of CoreVoice. The World Cup season is on, and so I want to see how effectively some of these brands are able to make use of the World Cup theme to actually tell the story which is more aligned to the brand that they actually represent versus if it's too forced, right? Let's watch the ad together. It's for a brand called itel. They make budget mobile phones.
हाय बाबा।
हेलो बेटा।
बाबा मैंने वर्ल्ड कप की टिकट लगा था, वो बुक किया आपने? प्रॉमिस करता हूँ इस बार फर्स्ट आऊंगा बाबा।
एक मिनट बेटा। हाँ सर मैं कल सुबह जल्दी आकर काउंट टैली कर दूंगा।
बाबा मुझे मतलब बिल्कुल इधर से देखना है ना? सुनो ना बाबा।
क्यों झूठे सपने दिखाते हो? जानते हो कितना महंगा आता है टिकट? पूरे 8 से 10 हजार रुपए का आता है एक।
आ गया रिजल्ट?
संजू क्या हुआ इस बार फर्स्ट नहीं आए तो? समझाइए ना इसको, मैच अगले साल देख लेगा।
श्रुति, वर्ल्ड कप 4 साल में एक बार होता है, वो भी इंडिया में होगा कि नहीं कुछ नहीं पता।
फर्स्ट आया बाबा।
क्या? भेजता हूँ उसे टिकट के लिए।
अकेले?
10th पास कर लिया उसने, बड़ा हो गया वो।
भैया 2 टिकट्स, इंडिया वर्सेस इंग्लैंड। इतने में तो एक ही टिकट आएगा। ठीक है फिर।
तू ले आया टिकट? एक ही मिली ना, कोई बात नहीं।
बाबा
कौन?
अकेले के लिए इंडिया का 6 देखूंगा और आप बगल में नहीं होगे गले लगाने के लिए। मैच देखने में क्या मजा बाबा।
मैंने बोला था ना ये बड़ा हो गया।
जैसे क्रिकेट जोड़े इंडिया के हर दिल को, वैसे ही itel जोड़े इंडिया का हर दिल।
itel jode India ka har dil. All right, so I will use the framework that we use in CoreVoice to sort of dissect or in fact create ads that we create. So first comes the key insight based on which this ad probably exists. Obviously the first insight is that World Cup is happening, so everybody would be interested to sort of tune into a story around World Cup. But I believe that the other insight that this ad probably is based on is that most of India, right, which is middle class and lower middle class India, simply can't afford to, or it's sort of very costly for them to go and buy a ticket. That's the key insight, I believe. And number 2, let's talk about the hook, right? It's very clear in the first few seconds that would the dad be able to buy tickets? Would the son come first in the class and things like that? So hook is fine. Number 3 that we look at is when does the ad come to point, right? So this ad comes to point pretty late at about 1 minute 8 seconds. When you're making ads, you're very keen to see at how early or how late do we introduce what this ad is actually about. That's a very strategic call, and most people will remember the story and the ad but will forget the product. How seamless was the flow from hook to sales pitch, right? And I felt that the flow was a bit forced. Very unlikely for this target group, and we have studied this TG, they all have TVs, so they all can watch match in the TV. And if it's going to be a internet connection, for example, in a smart TV, which is an issue, in that case the ad would have made more sense if the product was more internet than a mobile phone, because well, if you have a phone then you still need a data. And in any case, it just didn't make sense. We also look at, are there value proposition shown in this ad, and at best that I could look was that there was a 50 megapixel camera symbol seen, but otherwise, like most brand ads, this ad chose not to talk about the product value proposition. We also look at if something was emphasized from value prop perspective, and that doesn't apply here. Likewise, there was no feasibility linked trigger. Feasibility meaning, what should I do if I want to buy this product? The ad didn't go there. Other thing that I think I need not comment is the customer stage comments. An ad maker needs to know is which stage of journey is my audience in, and brand ads typically are for everybody. So maybe somebody wants to buy a phone today, but the story is being memorable, so that it doesn't matter when you buy a phone, you might think of this particular ad and this particular story. Relatability comments. I think this ad was very, very relatable, and that's why it actually works and we like it, because the story is relatable, the context is relatable. This TG definitely values education. So the whole story about this guy trying to be coming first in the class, we know that this target group really cares about education, and number 2, this target group also cares about family values. So every ad beyond the functional offering also has to meet certain emotional desires. So we have a pyramid of emotional desires that any ad can try to connect to, and 3 emotional needs of a person that this ad and this story tries to meet is: 1, of course, family; number 2 is reward, right? Son was trying to get rewarded for the effort, and number 3 was accomplishment, meaning that he has finally come first. So that's the dissection of this itel ad.